You are here because Thoth has a message that can't wait any longer. This is your one chance to access the power that's already pulsing inside you, but until now has been hidden, muffled, forgotten. You have the power of self-healing. You have the ability to transform your energy in your favor. And I'm not talking about something theoretical, symbolic, or an empty promise. I'm talking about a direct calling, one that has been activated now, the moment you hit play on this video. You feel it. I know you do. That shiver running up your skin, that sense that you're about to hear something that could change everything, that silent certainty that you didn't end up here by accident. It wasn't luck, it wasn't coincidence, it wasn't idle curiosity. It was the vibrational energy of the universe guiding you here. Because today, you're going to discover the invisible impact that's shaping your life without you even realizing it. And more, you're going to learn how to reverse that flow, how to transform that energy field to finally create the reality you've always wanted. What you're about to hear isn't ordinary content. It's not just any information. It's knowledge guarded for millennia, passed down by the ancient masters, encoded in the messages of Thoth, and today, right at this moment, accessible to you. But pay attention. This opportunity won't stay open forever. Only those who stay until the end will receive the keys to apply these truths in practice and feel the real difference in body, mind, and spirit. So stop now. Take a deep breath. Feel the beat of your heart. It's not just biology. It's not just flesh. It's rhythm. It's pulse. It's living energy. And it's exactly this energy that you're going to learn to use today in your favor. Ready? Because we're about to start revealing what has always been waiting for you. And from here on, there's no turning back. What is hidden within shapes what manifests outside. When the soul awakens to its own light, the whole world bows to its vibration. Teaching attributed to Thoth. Have you ever stopped to think that everything happening in your life, from small conversations to the biggest events, doesn't come out of nowhere? That the results you see today, your relationships, your opportunities, your health, your struggles, aren't just random accidents thrown by chance, but direct reflections of something invisible you carry inside you. This is where we start to pull back the curtain for a deeper understanding. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions aren't just subjective feelings. They're not just stories you tell yourself. They are real, vibrant, pulsing forces that silently and constantly shape every layer of your reality. Now imagine you're standing in front of a huge invisible field. You can't see it with your physical eyes, but it's there, surrounding you, running through you, connecting you to everything around you. This field isn't just yours, but you carry a unique piece of it. It's your vibrational field. This field is created by the sum of your beliefs, those deeply rooted ideas you've absorbed over your life, your thoughts, the stories you tell yourself every day, and your emotions, the internal reactions that come from those stories. What Thoth knew millennia ago, and what even modern physics is starting to explore in its studies on energy and frequency, is that this field isn't just static energy. It's constantly emitting. It's not passive. It's not just a mirror reflecting you. It's a transmitter. When you think something repeatedly, that thought generates a frequency. When you feel something, that feeling also generates a frequency. When these frequencies combine, they start to resonate in your vibrational field, creating a unique energetic signature that you carry wherever you go. That signature doesn't stay hidden. It comes out of you. It projects into the external world. And here's the key. The external world doesn't respond to who you wish you were or to what you hope to achieve. It responds to what you're already vibrating right now. If you look at your life and see repeating patterns, relationships that don't work out, dreams that never take off, financial blocks that always seem to pop up at the wrong time, health problems that keep coming back, know that this isn't coincidence. This is vibrational echo. Your energy field is calling in, magnetizing, attracting experiences that match the frequency you're already holding. It's not punishment. It's not bad luck. It's vibration. It's frequency. You can want amazing things with your conscious mind. You can repeat motivational phrases. You can plan extraordinary projects. But if deep down, your rooted beliefs say you don't deserve it, that you can't do it, that you're not worthy, those beliefs generate a vibration that cancels out everything else. You become a prisoner of an invisible field you yourself are generating. And this is the point that changes everything. Realizing that this field is active right now, that it doesn't wait for your permission to work, and that it's already shaping your results. It's not easy to hear this, because when you understand that the results in your life aren't just the product of the external world, but of the vibrational field you carry, you also understand that you can no longer outsource responsibility. You can't just keep blaming fate, other people, luck, or bad breaks. But this is also where the most powerful freedom is born. If you create, you can recreate. If you emit, you can recalibrate. If you sustain patterns, you can dissolve them. And here we reach the crucial moment. Because in the next part, you're going to discover why so many people, even when they want to change, even when they try to do things differently, stay trapped in cycles and blocks that drain energy and empty vitality. We're going to reveal what Thoth knew about these invisible traps and how he showed the way to escape them. The hidden side of energy exchanges. Who's stealing from you without you knowing? You're exposed, and only those who understand the first signs can begin to create their own energetic shield. Now imagine that, besides your personal vibrational field, you're also in a sea of energies that aren't yours. That means, with every step, every interaction, every environment you walk into, an exchange is happening. And the scariest detail, you almost never notice. You walk into a room full of people. Some are anxious, others are depressed, some are angry, others are bored. And even if no one says a word, those energies are vibrating in the air like invisible waves. You breathe that air. You connect with that field. You pick up that vibration. It's no wonder that so often you walk into a place and for no obvious reason you start to feel weird, uncomfortable, drained. Or you meet someone who always seems to sap your energy, someone who leaves you exhausted, even after a short conversation. This isn't your imagination. This is a real energy exchange. The most surprising part is that these exchanges don't just happen with people. They happen with places, objects, situations. Think of a place where many people have gone through pain or suffering. Hospitals, cemeteries, old buildings marked by heavy stories. These environments carry energetic records. They have layers of accumulated vibration that stay there, soaked in, waiting for the next vulnerable energy body to connect. And if you don't understand how this exchange works, you turn into a sponge. You absorb without realizing it. You take it home, you carry it in your thoughts, in your body, and later you wonder why you're so tired, so drained, so out of strength. It's important to understand that we're not talking about intentional malice here. A lot of times, the people who drain your energy aren't doing it on purpose. They're so disconnected from their own source, so empty inside, that they unconsciously feed off other people's energy. They pull because they don't know how to generate for themselves. They consume because they haven't learned how to nourish their own vibrational field. And if you don't notice this, if you don't see the signs, you end up falling into a dangerous cycle of constant giving until you yourself start to hit an energetic collapse. Even worse are the cycles that form in relationships. Have you noticed how certain dynamics keep repeating? One person always puts themselves in the victim role, sucking up attention, worry, care from the other. The other becomes the constant savior, offering without limits, even when they get nothing back. This energy game keeps draining, keeps emptying, until both are trapped in a pattern that feeds exhaustion, not growth. And let's not forget social media. This is probably the biggest energy thief of our era. Every time you hop on a feed and start mindlessly scrolling, every time you get emotionally involved in arguments, comparisons, other people's dramas, you're giving away part of your energy, and most of the time, with zero return. It's like depositing into an account that never gives you anything back. You leave feeling drained, scattered, empty, and you don't even know why. And here's the most critical point. If you don't learn to identify these exchanges, you have no way to protect yourself. You have no way to preserve your energy. You stay vulnerable, exposed, open to any flow that wants to connect to you. And the more spiritually sensitive you become, the more you feel this. The more you pick up, the more you notice, the more you absorb. And that's why it becomes so urgent to learn how to take care of your field. Now we're going to reveal the first key to regaining control. That which moves all the energy around you and starts to give you back the power you didn't even know you were losing. The initial secret: intention and presence shape everything. What moves all the energy around you isn't something external. It's not something you need to search for somewhere else. It's inside you. And it starts with two forces so simple and so misunderstood that most people go their whole lives ignoring them: intention and presence. These aren't empty self-help words. They're the foundation on which your entire energetic field organizes itself. Without presence, energy scatters. Without intention, energy has no direction. And when the two align, an internal portal opens, allowing you to start consciously influencing everything around you. Let's start by understanding what presence is. Presence is being fully here. It's stepping out of autopilot, stepping out of mental chaos, stepping out of the obsession with the past and future, and anchoring your awareness in the now. Sounds simple, but have you tried? When was the last time you consciously breathed, feeling the air enter through your nose, feeling your chest expand, feeling your body occupying space in the world without chasing after any thought, without getting lost in any problem? Most of the time we're absent. Our bodies are here, but our minds are wandering elsewhere. When we're absent, our energetic field is also vulnerable. It spreads out, becomes permeable, loses cohesion. Now comes intention. Intention is the conscious direction of your energy. It's not enough just to be present. You have to choose where you want to send your attention, your strength, your focus. When you set an intention on something, you begin to align all parts of your being in that direction. Your thoughts, your feelings, your vibrational energy. Intention isn't just wishing. It's not just thinking. It's directing with conviction, with internal alignment. To illustrate this simply, imagine two different situations. First, you place your hand on someone just out of habit, without thinking, without feeling, without focus. It's just an empty gesture. The energy there is minimal, practically non-existent. Now imagine you place the same hand, but this time bringing presence. You take a deep breath, feel the connection, intend to transmit calm, support, love. You feel your heart involved, feel your cells vibrating with that intention. Even without saying a word, the other person feels it. The energy moves. You've created a vibrational bridge between you and the other. This is the power of intention and presence combined. You don't need complex tools. You don't need complicated rituals. You don't need secret practices. You need to learn to be and to direct. The problem is that we've been trained to always be busy, always scattered, always divided. The mind thinks one thing, the heart feels another, the body does something completely different. This creates a chaotic, weak, disconnected energy field. When you start gathering these parts and making them work together, you create a coherent field. And coherent field means strong field. Nothing you see or touch starts just here. Everything starts long before, in the realm of emotions, beliefs, thoughts, and finally, the actions you take. Imagine physical reality as the tip of an iceberg floating on the surface of an ocean. What's visible, what emerges above the water, is just a tiny fraction of what actually exists. Beneath the surface, hidden from sight, there's a gigantic structure that supports and determines the shape of that tip. That's how your reality works. What you see, feel, live, the opportunities, the encounters, the challenges, the successes or failures, all of that is just the final expression of a much deeper and subtler process happening first, in the invisible. That's why trying to change life just by adjusting external behaviors, just by moving the visible pieces on the board, often leads to frustration. Because the root of everything is hidden underneath. It's in the vibrational pattern you carry. It's in the emotions you hold, in the beliefs you don't even realize you have anymore, in the automatic thoughts that pass through your mind every day without question. These elements add up, create a specific frequency, and that frequency starts organizing the elements around you, bringing into your experience what's aligned with that vibration. If you live in a frequency of fear, for example, even when you try to create courage externally, even when you try to convince yourself that everything will be okay, the base vibrating inside you keeps attracting situations that reinforce the fear. If you carry a deep scarcity pattern, no matter how many prosperity techniques you try to use, the invisible frequency of scarcity keeps organizing the events, the opportunities, the people who come into your life. This isn't magic or punishment. It's vibrational alignment. When Thoth spoke of manifestation and creation, he wasn't talking about manipulating objects or controlling events like some magic trick. He was talking about understanding the intimate and powerful relationship between what you vibrate in the invisible and what shows up in the tangible world. The vibrational field is the matrix where everything begins. It's there that reality starts to take shape. When you understand this, you realize you have much more power over your life than you were ever taught. But here comes the turning point. It's not enough to understand intellectually. You need to learn how to access the blocked points, the hidden layers where energy doesn't flow, where old patterns are frozen, waiting to be dissolved. When you understand how to access these points in your body, when you start to release these blocks, you'll feel an energetic jump that few people ever reach. You'll realize you're not just living reactively, but actively co-creating. You'll notice that the external reality starts to respond differently because you've changed the internal pattern. And that's exactly what we're about to start unlocking now. Unlocking the points. How to release stagnant energy in the body. When we talk about stagnant energy in the body, we're not talking about something symbolic or imaginary. We're talking about a real blockage, a point where the energetic flow that should be freely circulating through you gets stuck, interrupted, accumulated. That buildup isn't just uncomfortable. It creates symptoms. It creates pain. It creates illness. Have you ever noticed how certain heavy emotions, when they're not processed, start to show up in the body? A broken heart can turn into chest pain. Repressed sadness can weigh on your shoulders. Constant fear can tighten your stomach. This isn't coincidence. It's stuck energy. The body is a perfect mirror of your vibrational field. It doesn't lie. It doesn't fake. It reveals. Where there's accumulated energy, there's a signal. And often those signals are screaming, begging for attention. But you've learned to ignore them, to silence them, to numb them. You take medicine to shut up the pain. You distract yourself with some activity so you don't think about the discomfort. You push it down and keep moving forward. But energy doesn't disappear. It piles up. It stays there, waiting. And the longer it sits, the harder it gets to ignore the symptoms that start showing up. Thoth taught us that to release these blockages, you don't need anything external. The key is inside you. It always has been. And it all starts with something simple but powerful: the breath. When you breathe consciously, you're not just pulling air into your lungs, you're moving energy. You're reactivating subtle channels that were asleep. Conscious breathing is an invitation for energy to start circulating again, for the vibrational field to find space to reorganize itself. And when we combine that breath with conscious touch, the effect multiplies. Imagine you place your hand over a part of your body that's hurting. Not just any way, not as an automatic gesture, but with presence, with intention. You feel the warmth of your skin. You feel the contact. You feel the energy start to flow there. You take a deep breath, send attention to that spot, and little by little, the tension starts to release. You're not making anything up. You're simply allowing the body to return to the natural flow it has always known. The same principle applies to other types of movement. Sometimes, dancing alone in your room, moving your body spontaneously, shaking off the built-up tension, is enough to unlock layers of energy that have been hardened for weeks, months, even years. The body wants to move. It wants to breathe. It wants to express. When you create space for that, when you give permission for that flow to happen, something magical starts to unfold. You feel lightness. You feel expansion. You feel clarity. And it's not because some external miracle arrived, but because you unlocked what was already inside. But heads up, we're only at the beginning here. These first releases are like opening small windows in a house that's been closed up for a long time. The air starts to circulate, the light begins to come in, but there's so much more to be done. There are deeper, more powerful frequencies that not only release accumulated energy, but that reprogram your entire field. Because in the next part, we're going to reveal what Thoth and the ancient masters knew, the most powerful frequency that unlocks everything. The supreme frequency. Why love is the most transformative energy. This frequency isn't some secret kept in hidden temples or knowledge restricted to initiates of occult orders. It's always been available. It has always pulsed at the center of the human being, waiting to be recognized. This frequency is love. But pay attention. We're not talking about romantic love, unstable and full of expectations, or a fleeting feeling tied to conditions. We're talking about universal love, the purest and highest energy that runs through all things. When Thoth and other masters spoke of the power of love, they were talking about something that goes beyond emotion. They spoke of a frequency that organizes, heals, cleanses, and transforms. It's love that dissolves barriers. It's love that integrates the broken pieces. It's love that creates coherence between body, mind, heart, and spirit. When you access this frequency, something inside you starts to vibrate in resonance with the whole. You are no longer separate. You're no longer fighting against the current. You become part of the universal harmony. This frequency is powerful because it acts directly on the vibrational field. It doesn't depend on words. It doesn't depend on external actions. You can simply sit in silence, breathe deeply, open your heart, and intend love. You can direct that love toward yourself, toward your pains, toward the blocked spaces inside your body. You can expand that love toward other people, toward difficult situations, toward heavy environments. This is the moment when the energy starts to reorganize. You begin to notice subtle changes, tensions easing, thoughts calming, emotions finding space to flow. Love as a frequency is the bridge that allows real self-healing to happen. Because it's what creates openness, it's what generates receptivity, it's what connects you to the greater flow of life. When you vibrate in love, you start to access deeper levels of your energetic field. And from there, the inevitable question arises: how do you apply this in practice? How do you turn this knowledge into something concrete, tangible, real? Now that you know this, we're going to start applying it in practice. And that's where everything starts to change. This is where we tap into the power of the elements. Water, crystals, sounds, colors. All of these are carriers of frequency. They're not just objects or materials. They are vibrational conductors that can be programmed, intended, aligned with your energy field. When you place your hands around a glass of water, when you intend love, healing, balance for that water, something starts to happen. The molecules of that water respond. Its vibrational structure reorganizes. And when you drink that programmed water, your body recognizes that new frequency, absorbs it, realigns. Crystals work in a similar way. Each crystal carries a specific vibrational signature. Quartz, amethyst, tourmaline, citrine. Each one resonates with different parts of the human energy field. When you hold a crystal with intention, when you program it with presence and love, it doesn't just transmit its natural frequency, it also amplifies the frequency you put into it. It becomes a tool for vibrational expansion. Sounds and colors are other powerful paths. Every musical note, every shade of color carries a specific vibration. When you engage with uplifting sounds, with music that touches deep layers of your being, when you use colors consciously, in clothes, in spaces, in visualizations, you are tuning your field. You are creating micro adjustments that, when added up, start producing big transformations. These tools don't replace presence and intention, but they amplify them. They are ways of reminding the body, mind, and spirit of the alignment that has always been available. They are anchors, reminders, vibrational keys. And when you start to experiment, to feel, to play with these elements, you discover something even bigger, that there's a direct connection with the divine that doesn't need intermediaries, that doesn't depend on external traditions. There's still the most powerful part left, the secret that connects you directly with the divine, without intermediaries, without filters, without barriers. And this is the secret we're going to reveal now, at the climax. But before we get there, we need to face one last obstacle, and it's hidden in a place where few have the courage to look: inside themselves. This is where the most treacherous traps arise, because when someone directs negative energy, thinking they're affecting someone else, they're actually just building a labyrinth for themselves. When you think badly of someone, when you wish failure, when you nurture anger, envy, resentment, it might seem like that energy leaves you and goes straight to hit the target. But what Thoth and other masters always warned is that the energy, before leaving, first moves through your own field. It passes through your heart, your thoughts, your vibration. And when the frequency is negative, dense, heavy, it starts to stick to your own field, even before it tries to reach the other. Many times it doesn't even reach the other because it comes up against fields too elevated to be penetrated. But it always stays with you. Always. That's why so many people who constantly feed negative emotions notice their own lives starting to collapse. They think they're sending a message outward, but what they're really doing is strengthening their own internal chaos. The coherence between thought, emotion, and intention is what determines what you attract. You can say beautiful words, you can make gestures of kindness, but if inside you there's poison circulating, the vibration your field emits will be one of destruction, of imbalance. There's no energetic mask. The universe responds to the real frequency, not the image you project. This is the peak tension before the final access. Because only those who clean the field from within, only those who face their own poisons, their own ghosts, their own pains, can access the highest level. Only those who choose to vibrate with awareness, with presence, with true intention, can cross the portal that Thoth guarded for the initiates. And that's exactly what comes now. At the climax of this journey, we arrive at the deepest point, the final awakening. True self-healing doesn't come from external techniques. It doesn't depend solely on practices, crystals, sounds, colors. It comes from a pure alignment between body, mind, and spirit. A state where you're no longer caught in the web of the conditioned mind, where you're no longer enslaved by fears, by automatic thoughts, by beliefs you inherited from the world. In this state, you access the divine flow within you, a flow that doesn't need intermediaries, that doesn't need to be translated into words, that isn't bound by dogmas, traditions, religions. It's pure, it's direct, it's vibrational. It happens when you combine presence, intention, and elevated emotion, especially love. When these three forces align, no blockage can hold. No pain remains intact. No external reality can keep operating under the old pattern. If you've made it this far, I want you to write in the comments, "I now activate my self-healing power." This simple act already starts to move the energy, already begins to affirm the commitment you're making to yourself today. I read all the comments, and I want to know who's truly ready to take this energetic leap. Oh, and if you want to help the channel grow, to spread even more transformative content like this, know that you can contribute directly. In the first pinned comment, there's a special link to support the channel. And also, if you'd like, you can use the "Thanks a lot" button here on YouTube to support directly and help keep this energy alive.